Well, that makes sense. No sound. The mic was muted. Let's do that again. Welcome everyone to the Restless Nerd podcast. Uh, this is episode 2 for season 2. I want to thank everybody for catching this on Twitch. I have 2 viewers right now. I appreciate you guys. Thanks Tim for the update with the no sound. I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I'm gonna have some music playing in the background while I'm going over certain topics and kind of give it more of a chill atmosphere. Hopefully everything sounds good now. I forgot I muted it so that it wouldn't pick up any keyboard noise from when I was going through certain websites and trying to post to social media. I want to thank everybody for watching on Twitch. If you catch it on YouTube, thank you. And if you listen to it on Spotify, I want to thank you guys too. So we'll jump right into it, and we'll go with the whole Activision Blizzard story. It's been going on. It's been a big story for the past few weeks. Kind of wanted to go into things last week, but I was like, I'm gonna try and keep it to an every other week kind of schedule with the podcast. Trying to balance life and trying to do a podcast and a regular job, trying to do everything at once. So this was a little more convenient. But a lot of things came out, a lot of dirty laundry from Activision Blizzard. A lot of them say, oh, it's in the past. But, it's creeping up with this lawsuit from California. California states that they warned them already to make changes, and they hadn't made any. So now they're taking legal action. So far, the big thing is the mistreatment of women, sexual assault allegations, and everything under the sun. It was really crazy. They described it as like a fraternity atmosphere, and later on it came out that they had a room called the Cosby Room, specifically Blizzard employees, years back. But now it's coming out, everything's coming to light, so they can't really hide anything anymore at this point. A lot of apologies came out, one from Bobby Kotick. Wasn't a very good apology, so that didn't go over too well with everyone. And then recently, the president, J. Allen Brack, he stepped down, which was good. He was getting paid a crazy amount of money to basically just sit around and not really enforce anything. So it's a good change for him to step down, but in good faith, I can't see myself playing any Activision Blizzard games for a while. It's gonna take a lot. They have 2 co-leads right now, Jen O'Neill and Mike Ybarra. They'll co-lead the company. It's good they got a female in there, but also it kind of feels like they're trying to save face with everything. They're like, well, if we get a female in there, then maybe it'll help us a little bit. So feels kind of disingenuous at that point. And then they tried to get 2 people that were just hired within the past couple years. And I think that's their way of trying to say, hey, these guys really didn't have any part in any of the craziness that's been going on. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes from there, and what steps they can take to actually make change within the company. It's definitely something that needs to happen. Blizzard was already taking hits with World of Warcraft, with people leaving. Subscriptions dropped drastically. A lot of people moving to Final Fantasy 14. That became a big thing. A lot of people playing that. Even somebody I work with, he used to play World of Warcraft. He switched over to Final Fantasy 14, and he said he likes it a lot more. He feels like they listen to the players a lot more, and they come up with new ideas, where with World of Warcraft, it kind of feels like the same thing a lot of times. So, and a lot of times with Blizzard, we sit around waiting for so many things, and we don't really get anything from it. Overwatch 2, we've been waiting forever. Diablo 4, hopefully, will come out soon for people who are looking forward to that. But you kind of sit and wait, see what happens. But hopefully they can improve, because things are going downhill. A lot of changes they didn't start making until they got hit with their stocks dropping. They took a big hit with stocks going down, and then they said, "Hey, all right, now we're gonna make changes." So only time will tell where things go from here. So it's definitely been crazy. Jumping from that, we'll go into some good news, which was a Dead Space announcement for the remake. They said they're going to include cut content from the original game, all new graphics. It's really just going to be for next gen consoles and for PC primarily, which, I mean, you would have to think that's what they were targeting, especially with the price changes now. Yeah, it's been crazy out here now. But with Dead Space coming out, again, it's another recycled franchise, but we'll kind of see where they go from here with remaking it. I mean, the trailer looked really good, the graphics look good, but we'll see what happens with it. Again, I don't even think they have really a release date for it. It's more of a, hey, look, here's a teaser. We're actually working on something. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, somebody mentioned about the someone actually ended up killing themselves due to the Activision Blizzard incident. Well, not due to the incident, something that happened that they actually mentioned within the lawsuit. They were like blackmailing a girl, taking photos, and it allegedly caused her to commit suicide, which is a terrible thing. But yeah, I won't be playing their games. Moving away from that. No more Call of Duty streams. Speaking of new thing, Battlefield 2042. There was a lot of announcements with this. Yeah, with Battlefield 42, they had limited play testing. That's going to come up next week. They have some new things they mentioned, like the Battlefield Portal, which I think is really interesting. You can kind of take parts from different Battlefield games and kind of incorporate them into like different maps, so people can play online. So you can have like Battlefield Bad Company, weapons or stages within like Battlefield 2042. You have somebody with a old school rifle go against somebody with like a new school sniper. Like, it's a new concept. It'll be interesting. I mean, we'll see how people's PCs can handle it and how next gen consoles can handle it. They're saying they're making it within spec for the consoles and for PC, so it runs fine, but Battlefield always says that, and a lot of times it doesn't run the best. So we'll see if they're actually able to execute well. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be something new to play. So, even though I really haven't been able to play a lot of video games lately, mainly because of work. Schedule's been crazy, but it'll be something to kill time, something to jump in real quick and get through some of the weekend. Something else to talk about. I actually forgot to pull up an article for this. So they were talking about the gaming PC ban that was going on, which it's technically not really a ban on gaming PCs. Certain states, they're So here we go. We got California, Colorado, Hawaii, Oregon, Vermont, and Washington. Um, they actually pass the CEC actually passed something to cause efficiency regulations for PC components. And because people saw Dell pull certain gaming PCs from their website, they automatically assumed, oh, there's a gaming PC ban. But that's technically not what's happening. So what the CEC does is there's like a almost like a chart that breaks up each PC component, right? So your SSD pulls this amount of power, or your CPU pulls this certain amount of power, and it adds up. And when you hit a certain limit, then that's when regulations get put onto that PC. Um, but they actually accommodate, like, if you have a higher end graphics card, or a higher end CPU, and there's accommodations for that. So it actually impacted like more like mini ITX builds and stuff like that. But also they targeted primarily the pre-built market. They're not targeting people who build their own PCs. And there was a misconception going on that it was all gaming PCs. They're going after gaming PCs, but that's not really what was happening. They're just going after pre-builts that aren't running efficiently, primarily when they're in sleep mode and they're pulling a lot of power. So that's where the restrictions mainly come in. A lot of people were making YouTube videos and reporting it a certain way, but like in this article, Jay's 2 cents actually broke everything down and how the regulation works. Like, he actually went through everything. If you guys are interested, you can watch his video for more details. And he just breaks everything down. And it makes a lot of sense. I mean, why they're doing it, but also they're mainly targeting pre-built PCs and not ones that you're building yourself. Kind of stinks because the way the graphics card market is, a lot of people are looking for pre-built PCs, so you're really going to have to shop around. I think Dell was the one that primarily started pulling things because they didn't have some of those PCs CEC approved, but they did have some on the website that were approved. So as long as these manufacturers are falling within a certain guideline, you'll still be able to find gaming PCs, but it's just going to depend on the pre-built market and different companies like NZXT and CyberPower and all these guys who actually make pre-builts. So if they fall within the guidelines and they're actually following what they should be following with the chart, we shouldn't really have too many issues finding gaming PCs within these certain states. So it'll just be more selective. Like, you're really going to have to get to the bottom of things and really do research to find a good pre-built. But again, if the market ever goes back to normal, you can just build your own PC and you really don't have to worry about that. But as time passes, we'll see where the market goes and how all that works out. One of the next things that they're going to be targeting is actually monitors. That's one of their goals for this whole CEC thing. And that can actually be scary because it's going to narrow down the market. So they're going to restrict like refresh rate, resolution, everything from those components from the monitor and how it impacts the efficiency and how much power it's pulling. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, this thing was like something that was passed, I think, in 2016, and now they finally got around to actually passing it. Or let's see, 2015. They talked about it, and then now they finally passed it. So it took them forever. So we'll see how long it takes for the whole monitor thing to go through, and where they actually go from there. Welcome, Yella. Welcome to the podcast. I appreciate you for stopping in. I actually messed up in the beginning of the podcast, and my mic was muted, so there was no audio coming through. But my brother stopped in, and he let me know, so it should be fixed, hopefully. And hopefully the music's a good volume in the background. It's not too loud. Um, kind of just want something chill playing in the background. To recap, we just talked about the issues with Activision Blizzard, and one of the viewers on YouTube brought up some good points about issues that were going on, and talked a little bit about the new Dead Space, which I know you're excited about, and the new Battlefield 2042 game, which I'm kind of excited about. And I went through the PC gaming ban from there. Oh, you can't hear the music? All right. Well, I'll just have to try next time to make sure it comes in better, and you can actually hear it. I might have just lowered it too much on the desktop audio. Yeah, it looks like I lowered it too much. So next time I'll fix that for the next podcast, because I definitely want to have more of like a nice calm vibe in the background while I'm talking to everyone. So next we'll go into some anime topics. There's a lot of anime news, mainly in the movie department for anime. There was actually an announcement for this movie right here. It's called Spriggan. And I never forget, back in the day, me and my dad, we actually rented this from Hollywood Video, the original Spriggan. And now they're remaking it as a Netflix series. So I'm hoping it comes out good, because it's pretty nostalgic, and it brings back memories. So kind of hoping that it goes pretty well. It has more like 3D animation for an anime, and we'll see how it goes. So, some of Netflix anime movies are pretty good. So, and like some of their CG is pretty good. Some of it's crappy, but none of it is X-Arm, like from Crunchyroll. Oh yeah, Arm and Tag is very good. I remember that. I remember always seeing it at FYE. They would always have it, and I think it was actually in like a metal case, one of the DVDs, and I always thought it was cool, because I'm like, it has this metal case. So actually, speaking of metal cases from FYE, one of the first anime I ever bought, and I would save my money like all the time when I was a kid, because I wanted to buy Trigun, and I wanted to get the complete set, and they came as in a metal case, and it was like $70 for each one. And I remember I found the first one, and I was like, okay, I gotta save my money, I gotta buy this. I bought it, and then I did the same thing for the second box set, and to this day I still have it, and I have the little accessories that I bought with it. Like one of the limited editions had like a bullet, like from Vash's gun, and it was like a necklace. So I still have that, and the other thing I think was like a keychain or something like that. So those are pretty cool. Anime always brings back memories for me, because I've been watching anime for so long, since I was young, and I think that's why I still watch it today. It's just had such an impact on me and who I am as a person. I mean, some of the shows are strange. I can admit that. But some of the shows are just amazing, and they can teach you so much, and you learn so much from just a TV show. I guess kind of like how kids can watch certain cartoons and learn things from them, like G.I. Joe back in the day, or He-Man, or She-Ra, or something like that. For me, it was just always anime, so. Yeah, definitely some of my favorite stuff. Kenshiro Hokuto no Ken. Yes. Also known as Fist of the North Star for people who don't know that. Um, Also a very good classic anime. One that brings back memories. I'm happy it got re-released on DVD, so it's definitely a good one. If people like action anime, shonen, old school shonen, it's pretty violent, but I mean, it's definitely a classic. Next thing, a movie that was finally announced to be coming out after forever. Evangelion. Thrice Upon a Time. This movie was. They've been saying they were going to release it forever, and it just didn't happen. So then it finally released in Japan, but it never released over here in the US. So now they're finally releasing it in the US, and I'm looking forward to that because I've seen all the other ones. It's a part of the Rebuild series for Evangelion, which was basically they took the original series and they remade it, redid all the animation, kind of stuck to the same story, but they changed things around a little bit. I guess so it kind of flowed a little bit better, because if you've watched the original Evangelion, it's a little out there and a little all over the place. Still definitely a classic anime. Definitely something people should watch, but it's definitely different. You can say. I mean, the creator, he was going through a lot during the time. A lot of mental issues that he was having at the time, depression, all sorts of other things, anxiety, and that kind of made its way into the anime, and you can tell by the way he wrote things and the way things are animated. So it kind of throws it for a loop a little bit. So I think that's why he wanted to do the Rebuild series and kind of clean things up, make it flow a little bit more. But still, the original's still great. It's an acquired taste, definitely, but I think it's really good, and I'm looking forward to this releasing in the US so I can finally watch it. I'll probably binge watch it from Rebuild 1 all the way until 3+1, and then like have everything all in sequence. Because it's been a long time since I've seen the other ones, because, you know, they decided to take forever to release this thing. But another anime movie, Knights of Sidonia, which was actually, Netflix had the rights to it, and now there's a movie coming out, but Funimation got the rights to release the movie. So we'll see how the movie comes out. Looks like, yeah, initial release was 2015, and now it's finally gonna come out over here because somebody got the rights to it. So many anime get into like you gotta fight to get the rights to this anime. There's a lot of anime that just people still don't have the rights to it, and no one can release it. And the only way to get it is to buy like the original DVDs from like 20 years ago, which I do have some DVDs that are probably that old. But so many anime companies went out of business, and now it's kind of monopolized at this point. It's basically Sony that owns everything, because they own Funimation. Funimation owns most of the rights to everything. Then you got Sentai on the side, and you got, what's the other one? There's this other company, they released like Fist of the North Star and a bunch of classics, and they released Hajime no Ippo, one of my favorite anime of all time. But other than like 3 or 4 companies, that's it. Back in the day, there was like 5, 6. Everybody was trying to release anime on like VHS tapes and DVDs, so everything seems to get a bit monopolized nowadays. But I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this. I watched the series. It says IMDb. People gave it 6 out of 10. But I'll be the judge of that. Google users gave it 89%. So I don't know. I don't know who to trust. Anime market has fallen in quality in the stories and new things suck. Yeah, a lot of the it's because they try and release so much. The market's saturated, right? It's oversaturated, I mean. And this happens a lot with things. I mean, the comic book market's like that in the US, and it's just too much sometimes. And the problem is they're making so much, so the quality ends up dropping on the stuff that should be good. Like there would be something with like a great story, but the animation suffers because they're trying to push out so much product basically to people, and it makes it suffer, which stinks because it could be something that's great. Like recently, this anime season and the last anime season, there's been some really good shows, but also it feels like there's been so many good shows because they had more time to work on it because of COVID. Like they were in lockdown, so they were forced to just stay at home and like work on this stuff. So stuff got delayed, so there was more time to work on it, which made the quality better. So you would think they would see this and go, "Hey, people are liking this a lot more. We're getting a lot more viewership. Maybe we should give people more time to work on these things to make them better." And Mother's Basement, who's on YouTube, he kind of talked about this, and it makes a lot of sense. Like the anime industry and manga industry, everything is so rush, right? Because a lot of stuff is weekly. So it's like, all right, we got to get this stuff out. We got to get this stuff out. And then when anime comes out, there's so many different stories that they're trying to adapt into anime, whether it's a light novel or a manga, and they're just pushing product and pushing product and pushing product. They're not worried about how well it comes out. They're worried about how much they can get out there so people can watch it. So even if viewership isn't that good on the one show, they got like 13 shows out. So they're not that worried cuz they're like, well, we're getting viewership from somewhere. But if you just take your time, a little bit more time, give them like, a couple more hours to work on something, then things can come out a lot better. And you'd have more views on more of your properties. Not just I have so many properties with a small amount of views on each. So it's a quality over quantity type of thing. So better quality, you're gonna get more viewership and more people interested, and you'll hook them, and then they'll become anime fans, and they'll buy merchandise, and then you can do all that. But yeah, they're not worried about that. It's a mess. It's definitely something that bothers me sometimes, but also this happens with the comic book industry. Like this is another topic I was going to talk about, but manga is beating comics right now, like in a lot of areas. And it's just because the attention to the product is a lot better than what the comic book industry is pushing out. The American comic book industry they just want to try to appeal to as many people as possible, but by doing that, you're appealing to no one, right? And like, I have no problems with you wanting to do certain things to make it feel inclusive to somebody. Everybody wants to have a character that they feel like is like them, right? But when you try and make that character appeal to every single person, like I said, you're not appealing to anyone. Where the Japanese manga industry, they're just like, whatever, we're just making all different kinds of books. They're not focused on appealing to people, they're just making what they want to make. And if people like it, then they like it. And because they're making what they want to make, the quality is a lot better. Yeah, in Korea they're doing manhwas, and in China I forget what it's called in China, but they're doing their own manga, and they're both doing anime also. This was brought up by a YouTube viewer. Um, like Korea and China are definitely trying to compete with the quality of the Japanese manga and anime industry. And it feels like the US is not trying to keep up with that. They're thinking, "Oh, we're going to do this thing that nobody asked for." And think that they're going to get things from it, but they're not. They're really not. It's not like a few months back Demon Slayer was the top selling comic book. A manga is a comic book, so it counted towards the comic book numbers in the US. It was the top selling for, I think, the top 5 or top 10 books were all Demon Slayer in the US. There were no DC, no Marvel, no Image, right? And I think that speaks volumes in and of itself. That people are speaking with their wallets. And right now, Marvel's not making the money that they usually make, and DC isn't. Image kind of is. And I give Image props because they let creators make what they want to make. And I appreciate that because there's good books that come from that. There's also crappy books that come from that because people go, I want to make this. I think it's good, but it's not good. But at least they made what they wanted to make. And they're happy with what they made. It might not sell, but they did what they wanted to. Maybe that wasn't the path for them. So, YouTube viewer says, Overgeared Manga. It's one of the best. It's a Korean full color. I'll have to check it out. I'll definitely have to check it out. I'm always up for expanding the type of things that I watch. Another movie that was announced was the Jujutsu Kaisen 0 movie. I believe there's a trailer for that. It's more like a teaser. There's not too much to it. Another thing that was announced was a Dragon Ball Super movie teaser for 2022. It had like some CG Goku in it. It was also it was like a short teaser trailer. There wasn't too much to it, but I mean, it's good. We know these movies are coming out, and a lot of them are coming out in 2022, so there's going to be a lot of good movies coming out. I mean, we probably won't get it in the US until 2023, but hopefully Crunchyroll or Funimation or one of them gets the rights to stream it, and then I'll be able to watch it sooner. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, if I read Overgear, I might make a video on it. I'm looking to make more standalone YouTube videos. I have one that I recorded like 5 months ago that I never edited and uploaded because I just hadn't had time. So I just need to find a format of YouTube video that works for me where I can record it. I don't have to do too much editing, and I can kind of just upload it from there. So reviews might work out well for me. I might do that for some anime series and things like that too. Maybe some comic book runs. So I can like kind of binge whatever it is I'm reading or watching and then go from there and make a video. So, I mean, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want, and if I make a video, you'll see it right on there, and I'll let you know. I appreciate you, Datasung, for watching this podcast right now. Let's see, what other... Masaki Yuasa. So, he did Devilman Crybaby, and he also did... there was another movie that he did. But he's a very, very good director. He has a very different style. He's definitely somebody who just makes what he wants to make, but people like it, and they'll watch it. He's actually coming out with a movie, and supposedly, I think this is the last thing he's going to make, and then he's going to retire after this. So, this will kind of be his last hurrah. I believe this is also a 2022 movie. Um, so it should be good. Uh, I definitely liked Devilman Crybaby. This is going to be more of a period musical. So it's a Japanese period musical. And I don't know. Once the trailers come out for it, I'll definitely check it out and see what I think of it and see if it's something that I want to watch. But I definitely like anime movies a lot. When they're like, I like Makoto Shinkai. I like Mamoru Hosoda. Definitely two of my favorites. So um, I'm looking forward to see what Yubasa is gonna come out with. In terms of the summer season of anime, I'm still watching Remake Our Life. Very good show. Still just makes me think about life and like, where I want things to go and pursuing my dreams, which is one of the reasons why I'm picking up this podcast again and trying to pursue some content creation, with also pursuing my dream of having an arcade in mind. So I appreciate this show a lot. It definitely made me think a lot about where I want to go and what I want to pursue. How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom. I'm still watching that. It's also still good. It has good humor. I like it. Usually I'm not the biggest isekai person, but recently I've been watching a few, and they've been pretty good. I gotta give them some props. They've come out with good products. Standing on a Million Lives. The animation's still wonky here and there for it. Story's pretty good, so I appreciate the story of it. It also makes you think a lot about life and how you view things, so I appreciate that. And then another isekai I started to watch. It was like I forget what it's called. Let's go on Crunchyroll and I can get you guys the name, or you could just read it rather than having me use broken Japanese to try and read it out to you guys. Let's see. Here it goes. Oh, they want me to log in. So, Moonlit Fantasy, we'll just say that. So that's a very good isekai. It definitely takes a different approach to things. The guy's like, he's the son of two people who had got isekai'd before, and they basically like told a goddess like, hey, if you let us go back to Earth, we'll let you have the thing we love the most. So it ended up being their son. So then he gets isekai'd. She throws him to like the world of like the goblins because she says he's ugly and she doesn't want anything to do with him. And then he kind of has to fight his way to make his own path because he wasn't really given any guidance or anything from the goddess. So I'm actually liking it. It's pretty funny too. So I was actually laughing yesterday while I was watching it. I'm also catching up on Hunter x Hunter because I had stopped in the middle of season 5. Not even the middle. I was like episode 15 or something like that. So I picked that up. I'm on episode I think 25 now. I burned through like 10 episodes within like 2 days. So I'll probably be watching some more of that. It's probably once I'm done this podcast. I definitely want to try and catch up because they added season 6 to Netflix and it's a good show. And the creator of that made Yu Yu Hakusho, which is one of my all-time favorite anime. So, of course, I'm going to invest time in watching that. So, yeah, Data-sung. Currently, I am using my Canon camera, and I have my Stream Deck. So, Stream Deck's pretty good with starting everything up. Yeah, I definitely have to find workarounds with everything and trying to edit and actually getting good with editing. So, I mean, my job's pretty cool, so I can kind of work on things, scripts and stuff while I'm at work and doing my job. So, one of the benefits of now having a desk job. boring sometimes, but sometimes it comes in handy because I can try pursuing my dreams while also working and making money. So it works. I do what I can. I'm going to try and be as consistent as possible with these podcasts at least. And then I definitely want to move towards making YouTube videos, and Twitch streaming will be a every now and again, whatever game I feel like playing. If I feel like switching on the Twitch stream, I'll switch it on. So I use Restream, so I'll stream on YouTube like I am now and Twitch at the same time. That's one of the reasons I don't want to be affiliate with Twitch, because I don't want to be confined to streaming on one platform. I want to be able to stream on multiple platforms to reach different people who might use different platforms. I don't want to restrict myself. Also, there's a lot in place of them like kind of owning your brand, and I'm building my brand up to be my brand. I don't want Twitch to have possession of anything that I am trying to build. So that's one of the reasons I'm not pushing for affiliate, and I'm pushing more for my Patreon, which is a big thing for me right now. So we'll go right into comic books. We kind of talked about the one topic I wanted to talk about, which was manga and comic books and how the industry's going with that. So we'll finish off with the hot top 10 comics from CBSI. And if you want more in-depth information, I recommend Comic Tom on YouTube. He's a great YouTuber. And he also has a podcast where he talks about a lot of this stuff. So, number 1, we got an X-Men number 1 J. Scott Campbell variant. Nice variant. For those listening to the podcast through Spotify, it's Rogue on the cover with a green background. She's kind of blending into the green background. We got a price of $200 to $250 for that one. Number 2, we have Infinite Crisis number 5, which is a book I have. I actually have 2 copies of this book. Currently going for $60 plus. The price fluctuates for that. And they say on here it's a yo-yo book, so goes up, goes down. It's a little bit all over the place. We got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Annual 2021. It's a San Diego Comic-Con variant cover. It's at 100 right now, so it's a Finch cover. So Finch does great work. I love his Moon Knight covers. Some of my favorites. So that it'll probably go up a little bit. I could see it priced hovering around like 150, 175. San Diego Comic-Con covers don't shoot up too crazy. I mean, the book was probably like $15, $20, and now it's 100. So if you bought it and you flip it, it's about an $80 profit. But I don't see it going up too much more from $100. So if you can find it a little bit less than that, like $60 or something like that, I say go for it. Number 4, we have Star Wars High Republic. Number 6, another San Diego Comic-Con variant. This one's $70 to $80. It's an IDW book. IDW is known for their Comic-Con variants, so they usually sell out pretty quick. Number 5, we have a Silk. Number 5, it's her 2021 series. It's going for $70. It's a 1 in 25 variant. Pretty nice cover. It'll probably go down. Depending on the popularity of the cover artist and how rare it can get with print runs, it might stay around this price or go up a little bit. It really depends. A big thing that could happen too is if Silk is in any of the movies, the price might skyrocket. So that there's a big chance of that. We have all new Hawkeye, number 5, a Chika Ogaki variant. Price, it was around 45 to 60. Now it's around 75. More of like a manga style cover. It's an alright cover. I couldn't see myself spending 75, but somebody might like that. X Factor number 6. So 9.6s are at 250 to 260, and 9.8s are around $725. Glint has entered the chat over in Vegas. Glint, I appreciate you for stopping in. You stopped in towards the end, but, we'll try and have a strong finish. Go out with a bang. So number 8, we got a Spider-Gwen, number 27, Yasmin Putri variant. Book's going for 40, 45. It's a really nice cover. I love Yasmin Putri. She's an amazing artist. I love her covers. She did a lot of the Red Hood covers from his last series, and they're amazing. I love them so much. Number 9, we got a Marvel Tales, Miles Morales, number 1, Joshua Sway, 1 in 50 variant. That book's going for 100 plus. A lot of Miles Morales books end up going up in price. So if you can get certain books, especially number 1s, those are pretty good books to pick up. I have a few of his number 1s. I just bought them off the rack, and they're probably going for 125, 150. So definitely keep an eye on Miles Morales books. They're very good books. And then number 10, we have Spider-Man Unlimited number 1. It was 10 to 15, now 20 to 30. 9.8 was going for 175, and now it's going for 225, which is a big price increase. Okay, so it says the trailer was showing Shriek. So, and I guess this is probably her first appearance, so that's why the book's going up. That tends to happen. Any first appearances, book's going to go up. Honorable mentions, we have The Me You Love in the Dark, number 1, Scotty Young variant, 125, 35 plus. It's a pretty cool cover, pretty creepy looking, but I would buy it. I probably wouldn't be allowed to put it up, but I would probably still buy it. And then we got a Silver Streak number 2. Got an old school book, 1.8s with a detached cover, sold for $2,300. This right here, everyone, can show like how high comics can go. This is one of the reasons I invest in comic books. I might be selling some so I can make some extra money, and that's one of the reasons why I buy them. If I need a couple bucks, I sell a book, I get a couple bucks for it, You can make money. I have a Werewolf by Night, number 1 right now. It's signed by Stan Lee. It's Werewolf by Night 32. It's the first appearance of Moon Knight. I'm sorry. A 1.0 recently sold for $900. And my book is a higher grade than that. So you can guess that I'm pretty happy about that. I'd appreciate if it kept going up. Like I said, it's signed by Stan Lee. When I bought it, it was $25. And I actually got Stan Lee to sign it personally when I went to Wizard World Philly. It was a good experience. It was pretty sad, though. See Stan Lee, older. He was kind of, he was struggling a little bit to sign the books and things like that. But it was an honor to actually be able to meet him, especially before he passed away. So I definitely wanted to take my chance while I had it. And now I'm going to shamelessly plug my social medias because I need followers, I need subscribers, I need likes, I need whatever I can get so I can grow my community. So if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Twitch, give me a follow. If you're on Spotify, just follow the podcast and try and catch whatever episodes come through. I have a Patreon. I believe it's patreon.com/TheRestlessNerd. I have an Instagram and a Facebook. Just search The Restless Nerd on Instagram or Facebook. I'll come right up. If you need to search me on YouTube, The Restless Nerd, I come right up. There's no one else with my name. One of a kind. I like to keep it that way. So just give me a follow, check me out. Like I was telling my YouTube viewer, I'm going to try and upload YouTube videos. I want to get into the groove of things and kind of get into a flow of editing and getting used to everything, especially with my new job. So that'll be a big step for me. With the Patreon, I'm working towards raising money, putting money to the side for the goal of starting the arcade that I want to start. So that's a big thing for me. So any support, even just liking the social media or following me or spreading this to other people, I would appreciate it. Any help and support is appreciated. Even everyone just watching, listening, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, Glenn, editing the podcast, I just sit there. Everyone leaves me alone while I'm editing it because I'm like, I just want to get this done. I just sit there with my headphones on. Because for Spotify, I make sure I clean everything up, take some ums out, some pauses, make it a little more concise to the point for the people listening, whether they're on their car ride or doing whatever they're doing. Try and make it a little more straightforward for them. But I appreciate everyone. Want to let everybody know you're awesome. You're not alone out there. There's plenty of nerds out here, and we're building a community. Just remember, we are Restless, and we are nerds. You have a good night.